8 years ago, I made the biggest decision of my life. It changed everything. In this video, I'll open up about my 8-year journey as a Muslim, the challenges of being the only Muslim in my family, why I don't celebrate Christmas anymore, and how Islam has truly transformed my life. Stay with me as I share my most personal story yet. It's one you won't want to miss. Assalamu alaikum. So today I want to talk about my experience as a Muslim revert in Iceland, as the only Muslim in my family. Exactly today, 3rd January, I've been Muslim now for 8 years, so it's been a long time now, alhamdulillah. So first of all, I want to talk about Christmas. Since I became a Muslim, I stopped celebrating Christmas. Before, I used to celebrate Christmas, but to be honest, the only difference for me is only that we would listen to Christmas music and open gifts after eating dinner. Other than that, it was pretty much the same as any other day. These are things that I don't need and I can live without. I can still spend time with my family without having to celebrate Christmas. People say that Christmas unites people, so people should celebrate Christmas to be united. But I want to ask, why can we not be united without celebrating Christmas? Why can we not be united despite our differences? If you need Christmas or something else to be united together, I don't think you were ever that united to begin with. I cannot just do whatever people want me to do, especially when it goes against my religion. I always wanted a good relationship with my family. The only thing I don't want to do is things that goes against my religion, as well as I don't want drama in my life. This is also why I don't really want to be around too many people. I like to be around people who are nice and non-judgmental people who just actually want good for me. Because honestly, I wish good for everyone and I want good for everyone. But I feel very judged around my family and very misunderstood. So this is one reason I cannot fully be open to them about me. And I feel like I do have to hide who I am. I feel like I can't really talk to them about what I would love to talk to them about, because I know they will judge me and misunderstand me. I don't know how to talk to people about Islam who do not want to hear about it or learn about it. And they have already their own judgments about it, even though they might be wrong, but they are still not open to change their minds. Other Muslims, especially Muslims with a Muslim family, don't understand why I don't talk to my family about Islam. But how can I talk about Islam to people who don't want to hear anything about it? So this is something that people don't really understand unless you live through it. I invited my sister to the mosque and to spend Eid with me, but she has always said no. It would be very nice to have someone in my family who would support me and try to understand me instead of just judging me and saying wrong things which are not true. But at the same time, they probably wish I was different. I feel like not being able to eat pork, dressing more modest, and not celebrating Christmas shouldn't really be such a big difference. Yes, there are more things, but the other things are mostly for me and shouldn't affect other people. For example, like praying. This is just a personal thing that is between me and Allah. So this is something that shouldn't make any difference for another person. So I don't really understand what it is exactly that they want from me. Another thing, people ask me, why don't you just make your own family?
Why?
I know Allah provides, and I know Allah makes a way for everyone. But yes, finances is one of the reasons because, first of all, to rent a only two-bedroom apartment costs around 500,000 Icelandic krona nowadays, which I cannot afford such a high rent. Plus, everything else like groceries and car payments and more. Everything is very high priced, which makes it impossible for one parent to stay home with the child while one person works. It's impossible for one person to be able to afford for the full household, especially with children. So, this is one reason. I do want to raise my own children, as my mother raised me when I was a child and I didn't go to kindergarten. So I want the same for my children. Another reason is the environment. Kids these days are getting into a lot of bad things, which are things I don't want my children to be around or be a part of. And if they will be different than other children, then most likely they will go through bullying. It is compulsory for children to go to school at the age of 6 to 16 here in Iceland. There is no homeschooling or some other option either. And I do want my kids to be able to be around other kids and not only be around us, just so they can have friends and experience a good childhood. But I would love for them to grow up in an Islamic environment, learning Quran and Islam, and be a good person and have good values. The third reason is I doubt myself sometimes and think if I am good enough to be a mother. I don't know if I am good enough. I want to be a good role model. Raising children is not easy, and it's something I take seriously because they are human beings. It's very important to raise them well and teach them right from wrong. So most of my adult life, I've been a Muslim, which I'm very happy that I found Islam very early on in my life. Islam is something that brings peace to me and fulfills me. It makes it easier to go through this life with Islam because I'm constantly reminded of my purpose. So even though I go through hardships in life, I can still overcome it without getting like depressed or something worse. Because that is something that would happen to me as a non-Muslim. I wouldn't know how to deal with hardships and I would feel very empty. And I wouldn't want to go through this life, to be honest. If I was not a Muslim now, and if I wouldn't have found Islam when I did, I think I would still be a very lost person. Maybe I wouldn't be alive today because I honestly didn't want to live this life. Islam makes me want to improve and be a better person. There is nothing and no other religion that could replace Islam because the other religions just don't make fully sense to me. Other people can believe in what they want and they have their own experiences, which is fine and doesn't change anything for me. So this is my experience. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Assalamu alaikum.